Hey everybody, how's the lighting? Oh dude, ever since Landshark's one video about that, I can't help myself. Oh, it's just wrong. I'll give you some of that Blair Witch Project shit. Oh, I got a friend that used to be terrified of trees at night. Look at them sons of bitches. All right. Response to U.S. versus Miller, as well as the why we will never lose. First off, U.S. versus Miller, because I'm gonna start in this backwards way. The U.S. versus Miller video, that link that I sent, dude, you need to go back and take a look at that. I know it's a little funky reading, but within the discourse of that whole thing that the Supreme Court Justice wrote out, they go into the armament, the historical armament of the civilian militias. It's bad as hell. It's just cool. You really got to read it. And it's funny the way that two people look at something differently. We're from different places, but we're both, I don't know, definitely both American. That's for sure. Now, when you read the results of that synopsis, which U.S. versus Miller, they actually threw out the case, and that stood for over. The dog doesn't like traffic. That case stood for well over 60 years as the case precedent of any time a Second Amendment deal came to the Supreme Court, they'd say, "Oh, U.S. versus Miller, go pound sand." Anyway, let's back up the mule train here real quick. Now, when you said that you read it and you're like, "Well, what if it was a grenade launcher?" I thought the same thing. But instead of thinking, "Oh, it wouldn't hold water," I thought, you know what? I'm going to get me a grenade launcher. They're just going to have to deal with it. Not like, "Oh, how would that asshole do it then?" I was like, "Ha, I'm going to get my grenade launcher and here's my permit." And you know what? You can have your shitty ass little 16-inch shot-off shotgun, which those particular things aren't my cup of tea anyway. And I will, I don't know. Bisquick recommends the M40 Bravo Pig, and I see no reason to go against his opinion of that particular modern weapon. So let's give this a big handy closing. Freudian slip. I must want to get you naked. Got me thinking about Bisquick. Next thing you know, we're all getting naked. Let me close this video out and make it possibly the greatest YouTube video ever damn made. When our great nation was founded, Mike, these men that chose to do so, they had no particular reason to speak of freedom. They came from a life of serfdom and fiefdom, indentured servitude, the restriction of class standing, and just somewhere out of the blue, the circumstances were right that enough of them got together and said, "Hey, how about a government of the people and for the people?" Oh, the case can most definitely be argued nowadays. The case can be argued most definitely nowadays that that's deteriorated. But I challenge you. Who's to say that never again could we see such people? Never again could Could we be so close to freedom and liberty that we spoke in a whisper, afraid that it would just fly out the window, as somebody so eloquently described the Constitutional Congress? You can't say that it never happened again. These guys came from terrible circumstances. They faced an awful premise. Yet out of the blue, they came up with this. There used to be a better opinion of the American dream, and the problem is people have just watered down and bastardized the American dream. Do you know what the American dream really was, Mike? This is my understanding of it, and this is how I feel as a parent in the United States of America. The American dream was, you know what? I may not be the best, I may not be the smartest, and I may not be better than you, but you know what? My children will be better than me. That's why we're not going to lose, man. Because we can no sooner predict the loss than we can predict the win. And you can't turn your back on the possibility of one without accepting the possibility of another, and vice versa. The chances of either one are just as fair. By the way, this is the first step in me trying to convince you to vote next year. We'll be seeing you soon.